Hi, and welcome to the second hour of MindShifters Radio. And today is Monday, June the 30th, last day of the month, 2025. And while we're waiting on other people to get clicked in, I'll just say, Susan, I did send you and Diane both an email this morning with the codependence to interdependence. Perhaps you all will maybe be doing that together. I don't know. And sent you the links to take another personal code evaluation from use the one from the codependence to interdependence instead of the one from the 9-day that's coming up, because you'll take it again before November.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much. And my plan is to do it with because hopefully Lindsay's going to sign up, and same with Andrea. And if so, yeah, I'll definitely we can all do it together. And
Awesome.
Katrina's interested. And so yeah, we'll see. I'm going to a 15-day meditation retreat, so I probably wouldn't start till I get back, which will be August. So, and then yeah, I'm leaving to a course here and next week, and then the 15-day retreat, and then one more retreat, and then back home. I know July is a busy month, but I will definitely thank you for sending all that. And I'm excited because I've been telling so many people about you guys, and hopefully
Right. Yeah, I said it almost sounds like you're going to have your circle there with you.
Yes, and yeah, everyone. I mean, I keep telling everybody this is the truth. I mean, how could you not get on board? It's exactly taking us home. So hopefully people will say yes, and I can still see how many are still constricted in their, where they go into fear for their decision making.
Right, because
So
unconsciously they know what they're going to have to face.
yes. And I can see that, and I know I can't because, work's in the way, or I don't have enough money, or, all of that. It's just the non-being mind is fast and furious. So, but thank you so much for sending me all that. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Welcome, Michael.
And it sounds like you're advancing, not retreating.
Oh, yes, that's it. Yeah, lots is, it's lots of digging deeper. And I watched that video. I not listened to the woman about her ancestors. I think I said that too in the text, Michael.
Yes. Yeah,
And
Magda
oh my
telling about
gosh,
her.
so
That
many
was
tears,
powerful, wasn't it?
I like so much got opened up. And then also my father also came through when I did the mind shifting with what you had illustrated to her. It was very lot. Yeah, I cried, and then dream time opened a lot. I don't remember fully, but the last 3 nights since doing it, there's been lots going on in dream time. So I'm just
Awesome. Well,
trusting the process.
yeah, that was, of course, from the radio show. But when you are going through the codependence intensive, it happened live in that intensive, and it
Okay.
both times had me in tears. That
Yeah,
was
it's
so
so
powerful.
powerful. And exactly what you said. What is opening up, what it was had opened up to allow that to be, those energies to be transmuted within the collective. That it was, yeah, I could feel the power in that. Yeah, it's really something. So yeah, I'm excited, and her opening the gateway for all of us to do our work in that area. It's beautiful. And you holding the
For
space,
sure.
was also amazing. So thank you for sharing that.
Cool. Let's plan to chat for a few minutes after the show today.
Yes, sounds
Okay.
good.
Cool. Awesome. Well, Miss Jeanie, any questions from the article? Any email questions? Anything on your mind?
No, I'm full of babies today. Been busy, but I have not gotten
Yes.
any emails or anything.
No.
I will say, yay, Google finally approved the app on Android this morning. It's been like a struggle with them, and usually they're easy, and Apple's the one that's hard. But so the new revision has been approved by both Google and Apple. And if your phone doesn't do an automatic update on it, you may have to uninstall and reinstall. But the way you'll tell if you've got the most recent one, used to on the front page where it has, your choices for picking. Let me go to it so I know what it's got on it here. Okay, so when you first open the app, it's got like Reality Management Sheet, abbreviated, current sheet, and all that, and it's got our picture. And below our picture, it used to have a live radio talk show and have the phone number there. And since we don't have a phone number now, then we changed it. And there's just a link at the bottom that says listen to MindShifters Radio. And it takes you to our website where it gives you the instructions for either joining by Zoom or where to pick up the archives or whatever. So it just will redirect to that page. So if in the future, and cancel the thought, I hope that we're settled here on Zoom, but we've made a change from Blog Talk to 2 or 3 different things.
Right.
Yeah, and then finally landed with Zoom. So I hope we don't have to change it again, but this way I don't have to change the app if our radio show changes formats. So it just takes you to our website, and I can change it on our website a whole lot easier than I can change the app. But it has been approved as of this morning. So that was kind of a challenge for me because they had actually given me till today to get it fixed. They kept saying that we weren't compliant with their health policy. And, it was like, because we mentioned, that, it's mental, emotional, physical. And so they thought that we were, promoting some kind of medical thing. I even put the statement in there that it wasn't for diagnosis or anything, and they still rejected it. And finally, I think because I had resubmitted like 10 times this month, that they finally just wrote me, do this. So I did that Saturday and submitted. So I guess because I followed their directions exactly, then they accepted it. So we are live on both Android and iPhone. So thank you, God.
Yes, for sure.
And I am now up through, we did Aramaic Fridays in 2014, every Friday with Dale Hoffman. And I now have through August. So I've got September, October, November, December left to do. But I've got the links to those fixed on the website. And so you can go to 2014 and any of the Fridays through 2014. You can click and get the YouTube link or the Podatize link, or you can go straight to the YouTube channel, and I've got it under playlists for Aramaic Friday. And so you can pick them up there as I get them done and get them uploaded. And I found 2 or 3 other things that, were special programs that the links aren't working. So it's just a process, and we're getting there. So thank you for your patience.
Awesome work, sweetheart. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jeanie. We love you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.
I want you to receive that. It's really, you're amazing.
Thanks.
One of the other projects she's been doing, there are dozens of new short videos on our YouTube channel. We got a new program last week, and I shouldn't say we because I haven't had anything to do with it. She's the technologist in the family. But this new program takes our videos and breaks them into pieces. And so if you want to introduce people to just, through short videos, there are now, I don't know how many new ones, 50 or so probably new videos on the YouTube channel from that, as well as the archives that are being posted. So things are growing there. So what's on everybody's mind for today?
Did anybody watch the movie? Thanks for sharing.
I would have, but unfortunately, I couldn't. It doesn't stream in Canada. Can't get it in Canada. I looked everywhere, so not meant to be for me.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Canada, there's all kinds of restrictions. You wouldn't believe what they definitely they filter what we're allowed to see. I looked and I went in every streaming service and I could find, and not allowed in your country.
Not even on Amazon?
Not Amazon, because I can't access. They said, not allowed. I tried Amazon.com because I have an account, but I also have Amazon.ca. Nope, They said not, it's restricted in your country. All of the services said that.
Hmm.
So that even means something. There's symbology there, I'm sure. I just haven't found it yet. There's definitely symbology with that whole. Maybe I'm just not ready to. And I felt quite a bit of constriction when I said I would watch the movie. It was a lot when especially when I talked about the sexual stuff there, I could feel. So, and even talking about it now, I can feel constriction. So, yeah, there's symbology in all of that.
Hmm.
So I trust.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to send you an email that will give you a way around that
Okay. Thank
if
you
you
very much.
choose to do that.
Yes,
Cool.
I definitely am open. I'm definitely open. So,
Right.
okay.
Cool. So how's everybody else doing? Anything exciting in your world? Any issues to bring up? Any questions, thoughts, answers, ideas?
Well, I'm going to take this time because I was just on Dr. Taze's call and he was reading from the book, The Way of Mastery.
Right.
And I asked, they were asking questions of the author and the author was answering questions. And we discovered that, and I would like your help with this, that it's dangerous for me not to know. We got to that space because I wanted to understand what was being said. And I asked Dr. Tim about that, his view, and he said, I'm quite comfortable not knowing, but that is definitely not my, um, that is definitely not mine. So I would like some help through this one. I can feel a lot of panic and anxiety around that and even tears. So
Does
I would
that
love
need to
some
know
support.
part of the safety issue? If I don't know, then I'm not safe.
Yeah, he said it the way he said it, and what really resonant, not knowing for me is dangerous. And
Mm.
yeah, it's extremely dangerous to not know. And when he said that, I can really feel the resonance, especially at my right side. Yeah. So it had me do, yeah, to sit in a question is dangerous, or to not know is dangerous. So I've been doing some tapping to discharge some of that. And yeah, I'm feeling nauseous.
So
Um,
the what goals would be involved there then if you were looking at doing worksheets?
I'm just
What
gonna go.
arena does
Yeah,
opens in
yeah,
the way
well,
of
what
goal?
comes up right away is I want to be safe. Knowing keeps me safe.
Right.
That's the belief, right? I feel that knowing provides safety.
Is that the truth?
Mm, not that, so I'm hitting cognitive dissonance right now.
Mm.
Um, I want to say yes, but I know that's not true.
The truth is that your relationship with functioning out of and in connection to love is going to keep you safe, right?
Hmm.
That would be the real truth.
So
So,
no, for whatever reason, knowledge, my goal is that knowledge provides safety. Like knowing something provides safety. To know provides safety.
right.
That's
So have you looked at, well, of course, this was just today's show with Dr. Tim, I assume. So
yeah.
probably some worksheets around canceling your need to be safe, as
Hmm.
well as canceling your need to know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he gave me, well, he said a mind shifter that it's safe, easy, and I added healing. Healing for me to be in divine ignorance. And then it's safe, easy, and healing for me not to know. Yeah, I'll have to definitely, I get to do worksheets because I can feel this seems to be a very big charge. Next layer. Yeah, I'm getting really nauseous. I could eject my body right now.
Mm.
Yeah, want to eject.
So how about another mind shifter?
Pardon?
Key. How about another mind shifter?
Okay.
The key to my safety is in my divine relationship.
Mm.
And to start looking at the parts of you that have experienced, whether it's true or not, but have experienced being cut off from that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will do that. Thank you so much.
And the thought comes to just notice physiologically where your body tightens as you have this conversation.
Yeah, it's in the entire right side, my sacred heart, and all the way down, all the way down. And my head, my neck, all the way up and here in my neck and my head. So that whole area. And my knee, my right knee, right where all the tension points are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then if you just let yourself soften and breathe, think back to the quantum still point and looking at or allowing yourself to soften into that tension and experience it as a sensation. What emotion surfaces if you do that?
Disassociation is I can feel not being like it's like I'm looking at a scene, but I'm not in the scene. I'm watching it. So above from right here from my body, my little girl self. And I feel terror. Yeah, terror. And it's in that big building. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'm feeling really nauseous.
So the less I know, the deeper my connection to love is. Because, of course, knowing is of the mind, and the mind is going to try to grab onto something, but there's nothing the mind can do to produce that result.
Mhm. Mm.
Michael and Susan.
Go for it, Susan.
Susan, I was on the show the last hour too, and can you say what you said to Dr. Tim? Because I didn't get a hold of it. I couldn't follow what you were saying about a past life.
I was saying that I have the awareness of other lives that I've lived.
Yeah.
And that because the question I can't recall exactly, but it was about the identities of who we are. And then I had said that I'm letting go of identity. And then what if past lives, it was just taking the energy, that we learn from who we've been, the resonance of the energies, and bringing that for the expansion of our love. That was where, and it might have been a lot more wordier than that, but that was what I was wondering. Like that and I really feel that I'm letting go. It's dropping all identity because I'm just a hollow reed that is allowing love to express through it and releasing any attachment because I'm just formless being experienced in form. That's where I was trying to.
I really want to understand what you're saying, so I'm going to try to feed you back what I think I heard.
Thank you.
Which is that you had many past lives and different identities, and you don't know quite who you are now because you're aware that you were someone else then, or sorry, I'm starting from way far away from what you're trying to say, I think.
Actually, no, what you said, part of it, just add to what you said, so exactly true, that I've been many characters along the soul's evolution.
Mm-hmm. So you feel as if the you that you were in a past life is not the same you that you are now in this life?
I would add to that there are certain energetic patterns or energies that were expressed through those characters.
Like
And I
what,
want
for
to be the
instance?
embodiment of those expressions in this body. But those expressions come from love. Does that make sense?
I'm a little dense. So You mean there were expressions with those characters, and it sounds as if they were very good expressions. They were loving expressions. Is that what you're saying?
Some not so,
Oh,
some
okay.
so, yes, some, but they all served, they served something. And that's what I want to find is the gift and not be focused on the whatever the character was. And because I'm here right now in this body, in this
Mm-hmm.
expression,
Mm-hmm.
be able to take the wisdom of those experiences and allow it to be to bring it here to take me further to love and joy.
Well, now I have something else, which is just me talking now.
Yeah.
I would
Thank you so
imagine.
much, by the way. Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome. Because this is past life. I have a good friend who tells me that my son and I have been together in 16 previous lives,
Okay.
various relationships. He was my husband once. However many times he's been my son, he's been my mother. And I look at her and I think, what am I going to do with all this information? I don't have a clue what to do with this information. All I'm aware of is that the present relationship he and I have is a wonderful one. And so I wanted to say to you, because his and my relationship has been from the get-go a very good relationship, that maybe you are already the expression and culmination already of all those lives, and there's nothing to be afraid of. You're the manifestation of all those lives showing up now in this enormous character, this full person.
Thank you so much, Susan B.
I don't know if that's on.
Yeah, it's very helpful, actually. That's really, really helpful. I appreciate that a lot.
So don't be scared. I've spent so much time being scared. It's not a useful position to be in.
Yeah.
Grief.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I can feel the base of my neck. There's lots there. So thank you. I really appreciate that. There's going to be lots of opportunity to.
Well, I'm huffing and puffing over here. I'm lying down and I'm doing deep breathing as if I became you or something. Yeah. Good luck. Yeah, I can let you continue. I don't have to stay on. I just wanted to get clearer about what you were bringing to this part of the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Nice support, Susan. So there's another tool that we use that you haven't been introduced yet, Susan, and or everybody who's listening, and or some of you have, but the thought comes that this might be useful at this point, and it has to do with letting go of energetic attachments that keep the same energies cycling in relationship to any given issue or person or circumstance or situation. And it's a really simple exercise that, when carried out, I've seen make mega changes in people's lives. And it only takes a minute to carry out. So if you're willing, we could do that exercise.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm absolutely
okay.
willing.
And I'll invite everyone who's listening, if you'd like to, if you've got someone who tends to be able to pull your emotional chain or something, as with this particular issue of safety, then I'll just invite you to follow the directions that I'm going to give and carry out the exercise and see what moves for you, see what happens. And so I'm going to ask everybody to just get quiet and centered for a moment. Close your eyes so that you're focused inside. And allow an image to come to mind for you, Susan, that would be representative of safety. Okay.
Yeah, my father. Of safety, something of safety or not safety? See my father.
That would relate to safety.
Okay.
I.e., if it's a dad and knowing some of the history you shared, then there would be lots of emotional attachments that might bring up energies that would not feel
Yeah.
safe around.
Yeah.
So allow an image of him to come to mind. And for everyone else who's listening, if you're going to do it on, a general circumstance, it might be yourself, it might be a partner, it might be, somebody in the world, somebody you've never met and probably never will meet, but still brings that up for you. Whatever image comes to mind relating to the arena in which you're ready to let go of attachments. And attachments here doesn't mean connection. Actually, when people do this exercise, they usually experience a deeper connection to whoever or whatever the circumstance is, but it removes the recurring emotional trauma keyed to whatever that situation, circumstance, or person is. So just allow an image to come to mind. And as you do, imagine that I'm there with you and I have two pencils of light. So each of these pencils emits a light beam. And imagine that I place one of these pencils of light right in the center of your forehead. And the light penetrates beyond your skull into your brain. And then imagine the second pencil of light. I'm coming right down from the top of the center of your crown. And imagine the place where those two pencil tips meet, where the light from those two pencil tips meets. And allow yourself to take your awareness to that place. That place is the seat of the unconscious, where emotional attachments can be broken, let loose of. And so imagine yourself there in that place where the two tips of light meet. And once again, allow that image of whoever, whatever you're working around to come to mind. And for you, Susan, what I'm going to ask you to do once you're centered there is invite Ruka and each person who's listening, if you're doing this exercise, invite Ruka in. And the request would be for you, Susan, would be, Ruka, I release all attachment to the need to be safe.
I need to be safe.
And for everyone else who's listening, if there's a particular person, you might use that person's name, a particular circumstance. Allow yourself to breathe, be centered in that place where those two pencil tips meet. The light intersects in that space. And then just go ahead and speak that out loud, please. And as you do that, just check out how you're feeling physically. Is there anything happening anywhere in your physiology?
Lots is happening right in the core of my brain, but also my neck and all the way down the back of my right side of my spine.
And what's moving there?
Yeah, I sense it might be fear. Yeah, it feels like something got locked into position when that terror happened. It is still within my central nervous system, or was within before today. That has locked in a certain program.
As you breathe in, can you just let that soften? And once again, Ruka, I release all attachment to safety.
There's a pulsation going on the right side of my head going out here. It's really pulsing now. I feel really nauseous.
Anything happening in your hands?
Feels almost, got my hands together. It feels almost numb.
Interesting. Oftentimes, people will feel a tingling in the hands or in the head as that release takes place.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not here. It's weird. I feel like my central column is holding all the tension, but I'm outside of it, observing it.
Mm.
And yet
So can you,
I'm tethered to these tension at the tension points. So in my diaphragm and in my psoas and at the right neck, there's a tether there, but I'm not here. But I can experience it through the tension points.
it's like I get a sense of a deep pulse in the left side of your neck, just about where your shoulder connects in.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost is showing me a V. There's something right here at the notch, right here. It's going out here, but also there, and the right side as well. It's weird. It feels as this, whatever this is, seems to be quite attached to this identity.
I claim safety as my birthright.
Claim safety as my birthright. Oh, there's pulsing going on my right side of my head and right on my right shoulder, down on my diaphragm, my right side of my heart, my psoas. It's almost like a tingling feeling and a pulsation at the same time.
While joining in that letting go process.
Safety is my birthright.
Anyone else? Anything to report? If there is, just go ahead and unmute your mic and just share what's going on. I'm personally feeling a really strong pulsing in my heart. And what's happening with your breath? Anyone else anything to share at this moment?
I think I do. This is Sally. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Really resonate with the whole thing about knowledge equaling safety. I grew up with that uh, description of knowledge is power, knowledge is safety, knowledge is, all these beliefs that were in my tribe. And recently I've been dealing with a medical condition that today I was informed based on the test results I need to have this biopsy. And, I decided in the moment, my role in this journey is to witness what's happening while holding the active presence of love. And so I kept noticing over the weekend, I wanted to go online, I wanted to investigate, I wanted to get research, I wanted to know as much as I could about this situation. And I kept telling myself, no, go live. And all weekend long, it was like, it would show up again. You need to go online and check this out. And no, go live. So it was sort of pertinent to the conversation. And I am in the right room with the right people at the right time. And I really liked that pencil, the point of unconscious and calling in Ruka and releasing the attachment to safety. That was huge. And I will need a lot of repeats. But thank you. I don't know if I have any question. I just wanted to jump in because it seemed relevant.
I hear you loud and clear, and I certainly join you in your total and complete commitment to love.
Thank you.
That's something that, when it involves your entire being, the medical approach is the more we know about a disease, the better off we are. And there is a thing in all schools of healing that have been recorded called the second year syndrome. And that is that by the second year of studying a certain set of symptoms and diseases, that people tend to start to develop those symptoms and diseases. And so aligning your will with the presence of love and aligning your being and trusting in that, well, you do what you need to do in the world, is what gives us the most powerful leg up in the healing process. Really, if you're going to study something, study the cause of healing, study the cause of wholeness, work toward your link and your connectedness to that wholeness on the deepest levels possible throughout every fiber of being.
Oh, that is a process and a continuous one.
I think this is a good place to remember the true meaning in the Aramaic of the word prayer, which has nothing to do with putting one's order into the cosmic gift catalog and telling the Creator what the Creator should be doing for us today, as most of the world thinks, but rather becoming the space where the universal solvent for trauma and disease energies, love, becomes the strongest energy in you, aligning with that and bringing that through every fiber of your structure. Tapping into the attributes of being, that presence of love, the gratitude, the deep appreciation, for life is, I think, an important component of preparing yourself for dealing with anything that needs to be dealt with in the so-called physical. Cultivating this space of love within yourself and gently allowing your breath to go to the very depth of any tension point, anywhere inside or outside of your form. And allowing even the tiniest breath to go to any place that's restricted or tight, allowing it to open. Taking time to be with that presence. And then emulating the activity of that presence in every direction that your awareness goes. Extending that energy through your physiology into the world. A total yes to the connectedness to love. Allow yourself to think of any moment where you have thought of self or another and restricted the flow of conscious, active, present love. And then do the work required to restore that flow of conscious, active, present love in the direction of self, if there's been any restriction toward self, or toward any other, if there's been any withhold or restriction of love toward any other. So that being, this presence of love that you are, flows fully through every cell in your structure to all of the world. Is there anywhere in your life at this moment that you need to turn your thinking in a different direction? The Greeks called repentance, but it's not the repentance in the threatening form, but rather to turn your mind toward, many will talk about turning away from error, but on the level where you're a creator, you've got 360-degree vision. You can't turn away from anything, but you can turn toward, which is the real meaning of repent. You can turn toward and embrace that which perhaps has been left out or forgotten, and allow it to flow fully through you. So joining you in that presence and having your physiology totally and completely flooded by that power. Allowing it to pulse through every cell in your structure. And as it does, that it dissolves, it melts any untoward energy that perhaps is held there. In an instant changing physiology. In an instant upgrading physiology to its norm.
Thank you. I sure feel the pulsing. Very, very strong.
So am I, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you for inspiring it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the Grand Canyon before it was the Grand Canyon, and it was the pulse and the flow of that universal solvent called water that created that huge cavernous opening. And it's that pulsing and that presence of love that, when we allow it to move through us, dissolves. Like all of that rock in the Grand Canyon was dissolves anything that does not belong in our field, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, financially. So being there for you and with you and strengthening that energy. Susan F., how are you doing?
Yeah, just breathing through. There's lots of pulsing happening in my diaphragm. And yeah, just doing my best just to be with it. And yeah, just knowing that Rockma's with me. And I loved your Grand Canyon explanation. Just trusting the process.
Breathing with you.
Yeah, that whole thing's safety. And I just realized, like, I'm always studying, by the way, like 40 hours a week at least. Course in Miracles and consciousness group, leading the Course in Miracles, but always learning new things. Like, I was thinking about that yesterday. My whole life is learning. Yeah, and it's time to live what I was saying. I think Sally said that, go out and live. And yeah, I'm busy wanting to understand the world. Yeah.
But remember, the number one pseudo solution of the non-being mind is, if I could just figure this out.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, everything. I mean, I got books on the go. Yeah, and I've been in this, my whole, right from studying in the 3D world up to a PhD, and always, studying and working and studying as far back as I can remember. Now I'm working and but yeah, I'm always still studying.
Well, you'd probably be a little bit shocked if I came and spoke to your Course in Miracles group, because the first thing I would do, usually, I'm using, as we did at the intensive, a 4x8 whiteboard, and as much room as there would be on the board, the first thing I would do would be to write on the board, "Don't study A Course in Miracles."
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn forgiveness.
Yeah. And there's
Remember
moments
the
when
course.
Yeah, and the moments in the step, like, but it's revealed, like when I'm present, it's the words speak to me. I'm not studying. It's there, but there is a lot and mixed with a lot of studying. And it's the forgiveness that's undo the mind energy.
Right. You need not seek for love. You need only seek, find, and release the barriers you built within yourself against it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So joining you in that,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
allowing that to flow through each of us and all the world as well, which is in such need of it today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's obviously time because this is what's up today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so thanks.
It's not something that particularly works really well on an auditory medium such as the radio show we're doing, but right now for me the inclination is just to be still and be quiet with that energy. Sacred. So holding the space for everyone, or whatever the work is that's up. For each individually and collectively, and really joining and being able to say a true and total yes to that presence of love. And not just saying words, but having that deep ongoing commitment that involves every cell at every level of being. Total alignment with true purpose, with true being, and trust. Beautiful section of the Course in Miracles on developing trust. And knowing that Ruka is there for you. And without your effort, she will go before you, making straight your path. No stones to trip on, no obstacles to bar your way. Everything you need provided. Not one seeming difficulty, but melts away before you reach it. You need take thought for nothing, careless of everything. Except for the alignment of that one purpose. Expressing through you, bringing to you everything. Flushing out, removing any obstacle. flooding the space that you occupy. Totally and completely. As you make that commitment to yourself, I promise to trust myself enough to be willing to hear and speak the truth, to treat myself lovingly, gently, and with respect. And my thoughts, my words, and my actions all the time. In every interaction in my life, I look for and acknowledge the highest and best in myself as I surrender fully to love my true nature. Staying connected to my source, love, and nurturing that relationship is more important than any issue. I willingly drop every issue and allow that flow of life to come through me. I willingly let go of any restriction that withholds the flow of love through my structure. If anything unlike love comes up, I automatically go to that quiet place within where love dwells, where I truly exist. I listen to, welcome, and accept love's guidance. I am teachable and asked to be inclined toward healing. And shown how to keep communication open in all relationships. I'm willing to speak, experience, and be responsible for my own realities as I learn to keep love conscious, active, and present, as I heal and celebrate life. Sealed and